Okay. Yeah. Lady Wolf Pack on a whole nother level. Savage as they come, gang of female rebel. We got the sharpest claws, we got the whitest teeth. We coming for your lunch, but we only bring the heat.
Hey y'all, I'm Cassidy, the favorite daughter, obviously.
And I'm Kim, her mom, her match, and the real reason she turned out halfway decent.
Welcome to Mom's Favorite, the podcast where we laugh, vent, and overshare like it's our full-time job.
Yeah. And we're coming straight to you from Austin, Texas, where the queso's hot, the opinions are hotter, and we don't sugarcoat a damn thing.
You know, just think of us as Thelma and Louise, but only they're related and they have a podcast instead of a death wish.
So go ahead and pour yourself something strong, maybe a margarita, get a little snack.
Because here on Mom's Favorite, we got a lot to unpack. Hey MFers, welcome back to Mom's Favorite, where the conversations are real and the opinions are loud.
Today's episode is a good one because we are sitting down with a couple who somehow manage to be wholesome, hilarious, and relationship goals all at once. John and Jody Wynn.
Jody is one half of Shody Media, a retired educator, and proof that you can survive both a classroom full of kids and a marriage, which honestly deserves an award. Together, John and Jody are talking life, parenting, and what the secret is to making a marriage last.
So buckle up because we're diving into love, laughter, and the real behind the scenes of doing life together. Hi. Hi, y'all. I am so excited to have two of my favorite couple people here today. One of my favorite couples. That's probably a better way to put it. One of my favorite couples, John and Jody Wynn, are joining us today to give us all the details and all of the life experiences they've had and
The inside
scoop. And I'm happy. We've been trying to do this for a bit.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Really excited.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
So John Wynn and Jody Wynn. Y'all are just so cute, I just want to say.
Oh.
First of all, is the fact that you have the same letter first name, John and Jody Wynn. It's
Yes.
just like
It
so.
just goes. They
I know,
go.
we have to keep our middle initial in there to know who's who.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And just, I don't know,
Shaped
y'all are
up
just
square.
adorable. You are just cute and fun, and y'all
It
love.
just makes sense.
You just make sense. You're probably one of the most well-adjusted couple that I know. I mean, I know I don't know all the deep,
Wow.
dark insides. We all have our skeletons, but I really honestly love your relationship.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
We do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We feel very blessed to, have each other and kind of like, we just kind of get along just naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy.
It's pretty chill.
So, I guess the best thing to do is kind of just tell how y'all met.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Going way back.
Go ahead.
Go with that.
Okay.
I don't want to
So
go all the way back to
remember?
when we were born and this. We will talk about your past a little bit, but
course.
how did y'all meet?
So we both were in college working at Barton Creek Country Club.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we just got to know each other through, working in the same, not at the same job, but
Right.
in
He was
different,
a bellman,
Yep,
and I
I was
worked,
in the hotel. We both worked in the hotel.
Right.
and I worked at the grill.
Mm-hmm.
And he would come in, and they would allow them one free meal if they were doing like a late
The late
night.
shift, yeah.
And so he would get a burger or something, patty melt
Or
sometimes.
if you were really,
Mm.
asked nicely, you could get maybe
like some
something.
Whoopee?
No.
Whoa. Jumping ahead.
How nice did you have?
No, if
Some
you played your
side
card right, you
fries.
could get a free meal anytime you wanted.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The perks. perks.
The perks. Yeah.
Awesome.
That was a great job, though.
I feel like it would be a good job.
Yeah, it really paid pretty well for
That's a great
waiting
job,
tables and
especially
stuff.
your first job or two, you know,
Right.
working something like that. And
Hotels
what a
are
great
great.
place to do it.
Yeah, it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that place.
And
It's
most
one
of
my
the people
favorites.
that were nice, most of the members of the club, there would be on occasion somebody, but I just felt like they were like newly wealthy, you know?
Yeah,
Because
they
the
had new
wealthier they
money.
were, the kinder they were usually. Like if they had old money versus new money, like the
Oh.
new money, they kind of were a little like more demanding.
Bossy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that actually makes sense.
But we met a lot of like really famous people
Right.
and like really
Right.
had some great experiences just with the different people that would come and stay
Yeah.
there for golf tournaments. A lot of pro golfers, a lot of famous football players, musicians.
You met the guy who threw the eggs in the phone. What was his name?
Axl Rose.
Axl Rose.
Yes, all of
Oh, my goodness.
Guns N' Roses actually
Yeah.
stayed there.
Oh, Slash.
Slash.
Wow.
Slash.
The
Met Mickey
cigarette.
Mantle there.
How exciting. How
Like
fun.
it goes on and on and on, but
It was
yeah,
a fun
it
place.
was cool.
And a lot of our good friends, like we talked about how Mark and Katie met at Olive Garden, and there were like a whole bunch of people that got married after working at Olive Garden. A lot of people got married after working at Barton Creek.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because we were in the trenches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, in that time, that's where you met someone at work. I mean,
Yes.
where else would you meet someone? I mean, church maybe or whatever, but there was no dating
There's no
websites,
online.
and there
Yeah.
was
Or school,
know,
maybe
school.
college, but we were both kind of like just working full time, so we weren't really in the social.
We were like
Part of
full-time students
school.
and full-time workers. So,
But you both went to UT, right?
Mhm.
But
Yes.
at different times. Is that
well, we went at the same time. John started at LSU, but that did not go very well because
Yeah, I
he
heard
decided
this story.
to major
I heard
in
this story. I
partying.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
John and Louisiana didn't mix real
Yeah,
well.
it was, it was a lot of fun for that 1 year. And they basically said, we really need you going to class, and you didn't do that very much. And you need to
You're like, what?
I thought
take
you were
the
like on
show
a
somewhere
sports
else. So
scholarship.
I thought I would come to Austin to chill out
Right.
and straighten up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a place to go.
Yeah, not really too much of a.
So what do you think straightened you up?
Honestly, just.
I mean, I honestly don't think, I haven't heard any real stories, but I don't think you could have been that bad.
But I know it wasn't that. It was like a lack of like focus and ambition
Direction, yeah.
and note of just like, hey, I gotta eventually make a living and things like that.
Yeah.
And it just kind of snapped into place. Like it was basically after we got married. One day I remember that the day that it happened, I was like, I pulled into the parking lot at the house we were renting over on the east side, and I was just like a light bulb went off in my head. I was like, oh, dude, you got to get your shit together.
You're grown.
You are. And it was almost like a part of the maturity of your
Oh, yeah.
brain and everything. Just
Well, you
like,
and everybody else. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's
So
a natural.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think boys and men take a little
Oh, for sure.
extra time to get there.
Mhm.
And I think too, some of them need a little push from a
Oh, for
woman in their
For
life.
sure.
I know
Sure.
yours did, and now you're telling me. And it's kind of just maybe like you said, it's the light bulb moment of
Mhm.
waking up that hey, I got this person now that needs me to get
Yeah.
my shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But we were really young.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was
You got married?
20 when we went on our first date.
Mm-hmm. I was 24, so
And we got married. Let's see, we started dating like in November, and then we were married by April.
yeah,
Holy crap. Like the next April?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Damn.
Yeah.
really quick.
And our first date, you'll like this, was at the Saxon Pub
Saxon Pub.
and Lavaca Street.
Awesome.
And we went to Lavaca Street, and his ex-girlfriend was working there.
Right, and we went there because I knew that
I couldn't drink.
She would
was under-
sell us.
Jody in?
She would serve us. Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
She was really nice.
Yeah.
I went to school with
We
her
already
sister.
Knew them.
Yeah.
So
So it was
not
kind of
big a
funny.
deal.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Saxon Pub. I cannot even believe it's still there. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
still floating.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a good date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went with a bunch of other couples from Barton Creek.
Yeah.
We did everything with the Barton Creek.
Yeah, it was like our crew.
Yeah.
After work parties and,
BCC.
all that stuff. So it was very much a
family.
little bit of a club scene.
I was thinking about that and how different times are now, because back when I was in that age group too, and I worked in property management, and we had other properties. We had probably 10 properties in San Antonio, and then all the staffs we would have a lot. There was a ton of socializing. So you always had opportunities to meet people. Always. And now it's so different how people meet each other, and there's not a whole lot of really organic meeting anymore. It's more like, let me set you up with somebody, or let me.
I know. I do feel
single and ready to
for people doing all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It probably depends on like what your job is too.
right.
Because like, I don't know. For me as a nurse, like,
you're
I'd be
surrounded by
working
women.
and then I'd be like, I don't feel like socializing
Right.
at all, after
Well, you're
work
not
or whatever.
socially. You're
Well,
not
that's true.
very
yeah.
social.
But, if you work like 7 to 7 and then have to like
Yeah.
go out and then get up the next morning and go back.
Exactly.
But
and I guess not everybody
Not a lot of
wants
men
to,
in that
but
field
I'm
either.
but I'm kind of like with you guys back then. That was kind of like my family. It
Absolutely.
was like
Oh,
these
for
were my sister from another mister kind of thing, and it was
And
fun
I did
times.
do more socializing before I like had kids and stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause, once you have
What,
kids,
that
you're
one
like-
time?
you're like, I don't have any.
There's nothing else.
That
to
one
get.
time you went to that kegger and came home wasted drunk, and
Well, there's other kinds of socializing other than keggers.
Every once in a while.
that never happened. I
There's
was
the
being
more
facetious.
low key socializing.
Yeah.
So, you got married and you have 3 beautiful grown children now.
Yes.
And
yes.
How old
they're
are they?
Peyton's 32. Cameron is 26.
26. She was born in 99.
Right.
So
oh, that's
And then
she's
Harry
year
is
of the
21.
calendar.
Yeah. And they're all 5
Y'all
years
have a
apart.
32-year-old.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
You're only 40, so
Right.
how is that possible?
Right. Right.
right.
Yeah. But
Y'all do look very young to have
oh,
2-year-old. So
well, she really taught us a lot. She was so fun to have. It was having your first child. You guys know, you grow up with them.
Yeah.
you really do.
We were the first to have
a
a
lot.
kid in our little group,
Yeah.
a group of friends, our Barton Creek friends.
Yep.
My friends from Louisiana. I had a lot of friends who moved here after college because the economy was better. Austin was building this great reputation in the early 90s of like the place to be, and come start your career here. So we had a lot of friends from back home that I had connections with that lived here, and then a lot of them ended up working at Barton Creek, and it was
And then Dell.
really, yep. And then Dell, same thing, just moved on, kind of progressed. So we had a really good base of friends. But back to the point, we were the first ones with a kid, so we just brought her everywhere,
right.
Yeah.
like literally, like
Right.
and
And then
that
everybody
carrier,
probably
like,
kind of
okay,
watched
we
out.
didn't slow down.
Yeah.
As
Oh, we would. Oh my gosh, we'd go to Lee and Tracy's. They lived off of like Far West, and Peyton would just be laying on a couch sleeping, and we would just be like raging around her. So we had to grow up.
Well,
But,
yeah.
it was fun. It was a good
That's-
time.
That's
She-
awesome.
She was a fun kid too. She was like always up for adventure.
and she would play along with the adults and
Oh
keep
yeah.
them entertained and do
Yes.
play little games.
yeah.
One time when we moved into the Evergreen Courthouse, she had set up this table, and she put everybody's drinks and food that they brought behind her, and they would have to pay her to get their drinks.
Oh,
And she would
that's
sell
awesome.
their
So funny.
stuff out of the
That's
fridge.
great.
It's
cute.
really-
Love
really
it.
cute.
That sounds like something Shep might do.
Yeah, it does. A little businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cute. And so now Peyton is a teacher,
Yeah, she
following in
teaches
mom's
pre-K.
following in mom's footsteps, we'll say. But
Yeah, it was
because
very sweet.
Jody has been a teacher, and she just recently retired
Retired.
for
30 years.
30 years an educator.
Right.
Bless you.
Yes.
I know.
Well, she started at Zilker, right? As a student teacher at, final year UT.
Yeah.
They hired her. She never left.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I love
last year.
What a great school to get in and stick with.
But I wouldn't recommend that to people. I'm like, keep changing, keep going.
Yeah, mix it up.
Experiences
Because you get very tied, your identity gets tied to that place.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, and too, you don't get to really experience other people and other, as much. But Jody, actually, I don't know if you know Cass, but she worked in the SBS unit, which is special behavioral social behavioral section or whatever it is. But some of the more difficult and traumatized kids or struggling kids.
Yeah.
And I know that I would hear stories and just unbelievable what you did and what you put in your heart and soul. And
thank you.
You're not just a teacher that just goes
definitely
to work
a
every
passion.
day.
It was a passion for sure.
Yeah, you could definitely
I loved
tell.
it. I miss it, but I'm glad to move on to new adventures. So
yeah.
But
for sure.
It was a great time in my life. It was very challenging, but it was worth it. Very rewarding.
Yeah.
And then John did sales for
I kind of stumbled into it.
Technology sales.
I wasn't planning to. And I was looking for a job after I just graduated from UT and
as a political science.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was your major?
Yes, political science with a minor in history,
Wow.
Stuff I thought was interesting.
Politician in the making.
Yeah.
I thought he would go into politics.
I was going to
you worked
go
at the
to law
Senate
school.
for a while.
Of course. That was I was going to law school back then.
Yeah.
And I bombed the LSAT badly. And I was like, well, this may not go as planned. So a friend of mine was working at Dell, and this is back when Dell was just getting rolling. I went out there and interviewed, and next thing you know, I'm hired, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's great. Actually, the only way to make any money is to go into sales.
Yeah.
Because the sky's the limit. You can just
you do pretty well.
If you're good at it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You have to be.
You got to be good
at
at it.
Different kind of
John's very good at
stuff. You have to.
I would be
deal
a
with a lot of
terrible
adversity.
salesman.
And
Oh, you would.
Because I'm like, if you want it, buy it. If you don't, leave me.
That would be me. That's how I would be
You
with it
wouldn't
as a
go
realtor.
up to them.
I would.
Okay.
Like, if they want it, they'll find me.
Yeah. And if they find me, don't bother me.
if all products sold like that would be great. Where you
That
have
would
to
be
go
so good.
pester the salesperson to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That would be great.
That is so you.
I know.
I would be the same way. I could never be a realtor like Shelly and AJ.
Yeah, like trying to
because I would go in and I'd be like, well, if you break down this wall and you got to gut this
You're too
place,
honest.
obviously, not your house,
You're
Kim, but
too-
I would be like, yeah, this house
sucks.
this is terrible. You don't want this one.
Oh, I know. I know. I would be doing that too.
Yeah.
Or I'd be like getting all involved with their personal life. Like,
she'd be like, I
you
have a
can't
guy.
afford this much house.
Right.
Go cheaper. You need to look. I don't know. I'd be somehow figuring it all out for them. But
Exactly. That's
yeah,
so funny.
yeah. I actually kind of fell into a sales position by chance back. One of my very first jobs was at Montgomery Ward's.
Oh,
Wow.
Montgomery Ward.
And they called it Monkey Ward. And they were going to hire me and just to sell just on the floor somewhere, running a register, that salesperson. And then they said, well, we have an opening in the electronics department, but it's commission. And I was like, oh no, I need to make money. I need a guaranteed salary.
Yeah.
And I was terrified. And the guy goes, oh, you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
And I did it.
I bet you
And
did great.
honestly, I made so much money, and I was only part-time. So the full-timers didn't really look at me as any real, I'm no threat. But kid you not, those salespeople there are vicious and
Yes.
they're sharks. And they had women that worked over selling the refrigerators and the appliances and whatnot that had been there forever, big diamonds on, and and I was just like, I was super intimidated because I was a young girl. But the good thing is people help you through life, which is nice.
Yeah,
People,
they like you. They'll teach you the ropes.
yeah,
And be open to it.
yeah, they'll bring you in and kind of show you the ropes. So anyway, yeah,
I love that.
I love sales. But now you're kind of semi-retired.
No, he's starting a new job.
No, or fortunately.
He's starting a new job.
So I'm, at the upper end of my 50s, right? And I'm definitely too young to, not work
Go to law
anymore.
school.
And I've got
Yeah.
5 or 6.
Never
I
too
think you're
late.
too young, never too old to go to law school.
So, well, just to be, full disclosure, I just recently lost my job, which I knew was probably going to happen. The situation I was in was not good.
Yeah.
And it was like coming to an end one way or another. And so I'm like, okay, what do we want to do? So I had some time off and I said, do I want to just like go in a different path or whatnot, do something, get out of it? And then a great opportunity came along and, with somebody I really admire and, have worked for before, a great situation. It's literally, I am very optimistic about it right now, but it seems like it could be one of the best situations I've ever could get into, right? But I was open to like, maybe pivoting to something else, but now I got another week of being unemployed and
That's
start
great.
a new career.
I love that. I love when things line up
Yep.
and, and you can walk away feeling really good and positive about something. The only thing is I'm disappointed because I was hoping you were going to get your little cooking business going.
I know.
I was really looking forward to some of those tasty. John is an amazing good cook.
I still private. I'm available for private engagement. I don't. I don't like to work on the weekends, so that's one reason I can't be in the restaurant. Yeah, I love to cook. One of my kind of hidden or something I wish I had done is worked as a line cook in a restaurant.
It's not too late.
And learned they would eat me up and spit me out.
Or they'd love you. They would
be like, get out of the way, dude. No, but like you learn the skills you learn and all the techniques you can learn. I wish
it's like grassroots learning.
Oh yeah.
Well, you could go to like a small restaurant and do that.
They don't want me in there messing up their flow.
Well, you never know.
Anyway.
That's so fun.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Gosh, I'm not into like baking really or cooking desserts or anything like that.
Yeah, you gotta be too perfect.
I like to make just good old dinner food. I don't know.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
You like to try new
I tried new recipes almost every time I cook something these days.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, I honestly, and I kid you not, I would pay someone to cook like maybe 2 meals a week for our family.
You can.
Because it is so
Yeah.
daunting and annoying to cook. And I don't know why. I guess because of all those years where you're forced to do it. And
Right.
I said now I don't even.
But you're a great cook.
I can be a good cook. I just don't enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of work.
Well, it's a lot of work when it's just you and Egon, And it's when you have your family, that's when you want to cook.
Yeah, and I don't mind doing things like when we do, Thanksgiving and holiday cooking and
parties and
stuff like that. It's okay, but I don't want to have to cook a meal
daily
every night.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of.
Well, your friend Lauren Weiler, doesn't she? I mean,
I don't think she does
she
that
used to do that. Oh,
she did used
she used
to do that.
make
And
meals.
that's a great little business where you have your little circle of people and you make. But there's a guy here in Circle C that does it. I think his name is Chef Alex or something like that. But he will do those.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things I know John does cook well is he does a great gumbo and crawfish boil. Every year he used to do crawfish boil.
It's time to do one again.
Yes.
So I'll sign up. I'm announcing it now. I'm going to do a crawfish boil this spring.
Yes.
Have you heard any scuttlebutt about the crawfish crops?
Yes.
Is it good this year?
I met somebody at left field last week who was from Baton Rouge, I think, and he's very optimistic about crawfish this year. They're expecting a good. There wasn't a big wipeout weather event that is
over there. Here they were.
Right.
Yeah. So they're expecting a good
turnout.
Yeah. Good turnout.
That's so amazing. So one of the things that we didn't mention, and everybody that probably most of the people that are listening, but there's a few people that probably don't know the connection that John and Jody. Jody is related to Shelly Grabe, and they're sisters, and they are they're have an unbelievable relationship. I'm very envious of it. They just really have each other in life, kind of their I don't know. I can't even really describe it. I love how close you are. Spending days together. It's not just like we're sisters.
Like
we're also best friends.
and coworkers.
Really sweet.
Yeah. But
I
I'm
do
sure.
I love my siblings so much.
Yeah. So you come from a family of a little bit bigger family. You have.
Yeah, we have 5 kids. So we have Tim. Well, it's kind of funny because my mom ended all of our names in a Y, like
Except
so it's Timothy.
Oh, Timothy.
Casey, Shelly, Jody, myself, and Amy. So there's 5 of us. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and y'all are all, well, except for Tim, he's in the Houston area,
Right.
but y'all, all the rest of the girls are all here
In Central
Austin.
Texas. Yeah. Well, Amy moved over to Kingsland, but
Oh, okay.
I think I've been hearing some inklings that she might be moving closer. So I'm hoping. But that's only like an hour away, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If even
That's
that.
by Marble Falls.
Yeah, it's such a cute place.
Yeah.
It's nice out there.
Yeah.
Her and Matt have set up a cute home. I love their place. So.
Our neighbors over here that used to live next to us moved. That's where they moved to Kingsland.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but that was been eons ago. But
So cute.
yeah. So that's not. I love the Sylvie family dynamic. It's so great. All of the
And
kids.
John's really tight with his siblings. He has Mary and Bob,
Mhm.
and they're all 3 really tight.
And
So.
Ted and Alice.
Ted and Alice. Mary, Bob, Ted, and Alice.
So that's a movie cast.
Okay.
Bob, Mary. Is it Mary, Bob, Mary, Ted, and Alice?
Yeah.
That's
So yeah.
I remember who
Bob
the people
and-
were, but
and-
yes, I know what you're
And
talking
yes, you are tight. You're tight with you have a pretty good relationship with your siblings too, which is so wonderful because as we get older and either we don't keep up the connections or then we kind of start losing our siblings. And it's really hard, and it's nice to see the sibling connections
Yeah.
and
Yes.
and everything.
Definitely.
Our parents really did I don't know if it was them or whatnot, but we just all were very loyal and, we all got along well. We learned how to get along.
Yep.
With
And y'all
each
didn't rat
other,
each
and
other
we don't,
out or-
we never did have the kind of, for extended periods of time, a lot of
There's no
disagreements
conflict. Yeah.
or, just kind of I got your back, you got my back. We're just good friends too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so necessary.
Sweet.
You got to have somebody you can lean on in life, especially these days. It's like everything is so crazy
I
and,
know.
just, I don't know, it's just kind of strange times. And so it's really good to have that, tight family connection, but it does take work. You kind of have to cultivate it, right, Cass?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, with your boys.
My boys, they're so opposite. So they're so.
But I mean, when they get older, they'll.
That's what I
connect
keep telling
better.
myself.
Yeah.
And I keep trying to tell them your brother's not going anywhere. It's the only brother you're ever going to have. And it's the only person who knows exactly what it was like growing up,
Right.
But
right.
Whatever.
I feel like they're the only, your
Someday.
family, your
Fingers
nuclear family, like your mom and your dad and your sister and your brother are the only people that really know you. They've been there since the beginning.
Right.
And it's hard when when I lost my mom, that was a big thing. It's like there's nobody else. There's no one else that knows me like that.
Right.
So yeah, it's nice. So I'm saying if you have those people in your life, call them, text them, spend time with them, enjoy them because it's a treasure.
It is a treasure.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do now? What do you do for fun now besides I know y'all have you have a house out in a ranch out in the country.
Right. That's pretty much takes up all our
That's a lot of our passion. We're really both very outdoorsy, connected to the land, connected to just kind of building something that we are, it's just we just love taking good care of the land and the
We like to go camping.
Yeah.
We bought a casita.
Yeah, a little
We're
camp.
enjoying that.
Love to go camping.
It's very small. It's not like Shelly and Adrian's. They can sleep many. Ours basically sleeps John on one side, I'm on the other, and Georgia's like spreading out all in the middle.
Our golden retriever. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's another thing that I love about y'all is y'all are golden retrievers.
Yes.
And
I love our golden retrievers, but I literally just got the same exact dog after Luke died.
yeah.
I waited for a while, and then I went and got the same exact looking dog, but instead of male, female.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, George is skittish, but not as skittish as Luke was. But I loved Luke. Luke was like my favorite dog of all times. Don't tell Georgia that. For a long time, I'd be like, "You're no Luke. You're no Luke."
Georgia covering your ears.
But I love her so much.
Of
Yeah,
course.
she's
Well,
a
and it's when
sweetheart.
you do get one that's like a really good one, it's like it's hard because you're just so like we have those feelings about Maverick. We'll still talk about. Remember the time Maverick went down the slide at the camp out, and
Yeah.
it's like just really kind of cool.
Yeah, every once in a while you get a dog that's just like has some really cool traits that
Right.
you
Yeah.
can't, you'll never see
Replicate.
again.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they do some dumb stuff that you're just like, how can you be so stupid?
Like ate a picnic
stupid.
bench.
like like Maverick ate a whole
butter.
picnic, whole picnic set.
John was not into dogs, and I was like,
No,
my family will always have a dog. That's kind of my
fought it.
rule.
I fought it tooth and nail,
Yeah.
and I lost.
Yeah.
I lost the
I
fight.
love dogs, but I hate that they die. I
Right.
mean, obviously, that goes without saying.
Die a
but
lot.
I know. It's just
Yeah.
it's
Well,
so
especially
hard.
golden, they,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they have a short shelf life.
I know.
Right.
I feel like, yeah, they have a
Of
lot.
course, get a cat.
My
cat is
19.
19.
Gosh, that's an old cat.
19. Mine's 18.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys.
I know. We're cat ladies.
I am not a cat. I'm very allergic to cats, but
Yeah.
I think I like them from afar. They're
Yeah,
so
yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peyton has 2 cats and a dog, but she has a lot of pets.
Yeah. She's a pet person.
Yeah, she will always have a lot of pets.
I love that.
And then their middle daughter is actually, is she still in school or
She's in her residency.
residency?
Yeah, she's going to be a pediatrician.
She's an
That's
MD.
nice. That's
Yeah, she's
But she is working. She's been doing ER night shifts recently.
Yeah,
Not
she's
her
still-
favorite.
she's still doing different
Rotation.
rotations, and she's still in the residency program,
Right.
right? So she's still in training, but she's out of school, and she's doing doctor things
Good
and
for her.
delivering babies and stuff.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
If you
love it.
saw her, though, she looks like she's like 12.
Yeah.
She's
Yes.
I think that's like
very,
all the
very
residents
Mhm.
always
She's so young.
so young.
So young.
And so she's up like in the Dallas area. Or
Yeah,
something.
she lives in Dallas.
Downtown
She loves
Dallas,
that.
Okay.
She lives with her partner, Carolina, and they have just a sweet
Oh.
partnership and no pets, but they do want to get a dog. But they're
Yeah.
just kind of debating what kind.
very
Yeah.
long, drawn out.
I was just going to buy her one.
Yeah, that's how Jody solves these difficult questions.
I'm like, here.
Force it.
Made the decision.
Yeah.
For you.
Here you go.
Yeah, that's me too.
I think they should
kinda
get a
think
Cocker Spaniel. They're so cute and soft and
Cockers
We had one.
can be real. We always had cockers, didn't we? And they can be really, really good dogs. They
They
have
ear
ear
problems.
issues.
so does Georgia.
They have a lot of ear issues. But if you know it
They
and you're
need
on
grooming
top of it,
a lot.
and they also need grooming.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like on top of it, they're
but
Lot
they
more.
they're good
They're
dogs.
so cute. I
Very
can't.
cute.
Their little faces are so cute.
I saw. You know what I saw is a cocker cavalier,
Yes.
and it was
So Cavaliers with
cockalier.
I mean,
A cockalier king
Jack and
spaniel.
Kendra have the Cavalier. They call her Lady. Of course, the Cavalier's dog would be Lady. That's what you're gonna name them. They're so like
Right.
little
yeah, little
pillow
royalty
princesses.
dogs.
Yeah,
I love little dogs. I just
too.
I don't know.
I like big dogs.
I would rather have a
like-
big
I
dog.
like
I like little dogs, but I know that they're mostly yappy a lot of times, and
Yeah.
a lot of the ones that I've seen are very hard to housebreak,
Yeah.
and
Little
because they have those
bladders.
little tiny bladders, and also it's like they trip you up. They get under your feet.
Yeah.
They're like,
Oh, that would make me
like-
so nervous.
Yeah.
I like big dogs.
I think Clark kind of cured me of the little dog. Sitch, Pate, Shelly, and Adrian's old dog. But I will say Clark never bit me because I would run to the fridge the minute I got there and give Clark a
treat.
piece of cheese.
There you go.
And he never
Clark
bit me.
bit me more times than I can remember.
Really? See, Clark never bit me either, but I
See?
think it's because I had boobs.
Oh,
Because that's what Shelly said. He likes
boobs.
Women.
Well,
Okay.
you didn't have a chance, Sean. Sorry.
No,
Yeah, we had a beagle, and I thought that was like the perfect size.
Yeah.
Like not small and like yappy, but
Right.
still small enough to like, lay on your lap,
Yes.
take around.
Yeah, like about like
Beagles
20
are
or 30
cute.
pounds.
Not like
yeah.
taking up the whole bed or
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
knocking you over.
Not like Izzy, the little
Yeah.
tiny
I
3.
had a 3-pound
Oh.
piece.
Oh, you just put them in your purse,
Yeah.
in pockets.
My husband always joked that she thought that I gave birth to her.
Oh, that's so cute.
And then I would like let her outside and she would run and just pee real quick and run back in.
Oh, she didn't want to be away from you.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
She's like, minute.
Oh,
Why am I outside? I'm a human.
Yeah.
Izzy.
It's so cute. I love that.
So what would you say would be, what's the secret? Like, because like I said, you guys have this very stable and you've built this beautiful life and these, great family. And so
long have you
what's the
been married?
secret? What's the one thing
You
you would say is,
how long have we been married?
30, 33
34 years.
next month.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You lose
Yeah.
track.
Something like that. Long time.
Yeah, what's the
I would say definitely respect for one another. That's a big one. And just, having that feeling like you are always, it's not just you. Like
Mhm.
you have to always put that other person's, how would this affect them?
Right.
You're just not going to get your way every time, and you have to decide what's important to you and explain your reasoning if it is important, and if it's
so like
something that's not on your
communicating.
Right.
if it's not on your hot list, then let it go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let the other person have their way on that. I know that's easier said than done, but I think that's a lot of it.
I think a lot of love, just knowing like you have that partner who's always there and that you're going to go through all the hard times and the great times together. So,
Another thing, and this is just probably unique to us, or not unique, but is we crack each other up
yeah.
constantly.
Yeah, John's really funny.
We make each other laugh like with sarcasm, like all day almost.
Yeah.
Oh.
And just jokey.
Yeah.
We don't take things too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really important. I
Yeah.
think humor is very important for sure. I love that.
Yeah.
So you're starting this new endeavor with this new company, and you've starting this newer endeavor with your media company that you started.
Oh,
You go from teacher of these kids and forming futures to talking and podcasting. And
yeah.
you've actually, I feel like, because I've been with y'all, obviously seeing you from the beginning of all this,
Right.
I think you and Shelly both have been really amazing and have really grabbed it and gone with it in a way that is kind of fun to watch.
Oh,
for sure.
thank you. Same. Likewise. I love y'all's podcast. Y'all's podcast is one of my favorites. I love y'all's
You're so sweet.
camaraderie and your connection.
That's why I love Adjacent too. So Jody and Shelly, her sister, have a podcast called Adjacent, which is actually what kind of got us started.
yeah.
Or they started. But anyway, I could listen to you guys talk like
Mhm.
all day.
Oh, that's
And I think it's just like, and I feel like, why am I like, listen, like, why do I care about these things? But I'm thinking it's because it's so entertaining and you guys are always laughing and it's positive and
good.
you're not like dragging anybody down or, I mean, you talk about things that are important too, but, it's all in like just good in sharing information, and I really love the connecting part of it. And how y'all have been able to connect all these people. I have met so many people that I never would have met otherwise.
Oh, same. Shelly's the great connector, of course. Shelly is definitely the drive. Her Virgo is intense. I'm a Pisces. I'm more of like, you can't tell on the podcast. I kind of have a different personality than my real life. It's because I'm really shy by nature, and I'm really like in the background. I like to be in the background.
Yeah.
But
the podcast, you're more the leader.
Well, I kind of like
the driver.
I'm more of like the time, like, okay, next thing, keeping things good. But Shelly definitely, like, she's the one that sets up all the interviews. She's the great connector. She sets the calendar. And then the media part, that was her brainchild. Like, let's see if other people want to start a podcast and help them get going. And then when the student precedes goes past the teacher, which is ultimately what we want to see, is like everybody have their big moment. And I think like with the podcasting, I love getting to know new people, like you're saying. Yes. And like John was saying earlier, you have these conversations with people, but usually it's like cocktail conversations. There's not a lot of depth at times, but this helps us to get more in depth with people.
Correct. And I can't tell you how many times I've been listening to an interview of someone that I've known for many, many years and be like, what? I didn't know this about them or that. And
I know.
For sure. And it's so nice. And it actually makes me feel closer to them.
I know.
Wow, I have this connection with them.
Well, and the vulnerability that people show. I'm just like, wow, thank you for being so trusting and so open, because that is hard to do, to share your full self with people.
So what's kind of, would you say would be what is a bucket list thing that you guys would like to do? Like, have you guys ever like really thought about, hey, one day we're going to do this?
Well, I would like to go to like major sporting events, and like we've gone to the College World Series, but I'd love to do like where I'd go places and see like, like a Super Bowl, or go see like a World Series, or even go to like a World Cup thing. We were talking about like the Olympics. Would you want to do winter or summer? And then, that kind of thing. So I love the energy around sports, like live music, how you love live music.
Yes.
I just like seeing people do great things, because I have no skills in sports or music, but I think those are some of ours. And now that we have the camper, we feel like, we can do more things by finding like camping. I love to be out in nature as much as possible. So
yeah,
that's one reason we got the camper, I think, is just so that we could just do more stuff like that, you know, and not have to be, rigid about, I don't know, just it'll take time, and, we'll have to say, hey, we're going to go on this long road trip and do all these things, but we'll get there at some point. We're just trying to kind of lay the groundwork.
Yeah, you're kind of on the front end of it, because you're not even really retired yet at this point.
Really,
so,
no.
Just kind of a weekend camping warrior. So that's great. I love that. I kind of was thinking that I wanted to do that too. And I do love camping, but I don't want to be in a casita.
No, you would need like the
not
big.
for everybody.
Well, you and Cam are tall. Y'all are tall people. You and Egon.
Could you imagine me and Egon? Egon needs like space.
Yeah.
He can't even put it. He'd have to be hunched over in the casita. Those things are tiny.
Midgets, really.
Fun size.
So,
Size.
I think the M word's out.
Oh, really?
No, you can say midget.
Okay.
Good. We're midgets. So I can say it, right?
No, you can say, hey, you can say it on my podcast. It's fine. We're not saying it in any kind of way.
Sorry.
But, or like us, a friend, well, actually, it's Egon's cousin, her husband's on the shorter side, but she calls him fun size, and I was like, into him,
like the candy bars
face, and I'm like, ooh, like I feel like he would be embarrassed by it, but he isn't. He's just like, I am one side.
I mean, this is not good fun.
So they make a cute couple.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love that.
Is there something on your bucket list that's different than my bucket list?
Oh gosh. I mean, I just love traveling and going to see beauty, nature, things like that. It could be endless. I don't have like a, oh my God.
I have not been to the Grand Canyon. You went as a kid, right?
Yeah, a long time ago. Now, I was asked on my entrance questionnaire for my company that I'm about to start, they asked just to get icebreaker questions like, what do you like have a big goal? I would love to travel extensively in South America, like from top to bottom and go, all the way down to the, and do a lot of it by land,
like camping,
fly over everything.
Oh, right.
I don't see what not necessarily, but just, just like really understand.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I think so. So
I've heard great things.
Deviated a little bit.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Also, my husband
I would
said
add that.
somebody who works with their spring break, it's a doctor. She's going to Antarctica.
Oh, yeah, this is a new thing
I was
now.
like, that sounds horrible.
It's probably a little too cold for Jody,
break?
but I mean, it would be fun.
The heck?
I don't even want to go to Michigan.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, aren't y'all going to Alaska?
We are. We're going on a cruise. We're going on a cruise.
That's going to be so beautiful. You're going to love it.
I've heard those are really good cruises, not like ones right out of Galveston.
Right. They're smaller ships, and and actually we're going to stay in We're going cruising. We're leaving out of Vancouver. And so we were going to spend like 2 or 3 days there beforehand and then do the cruise. And then we end up somewhere in Alaska.
Yeah.
I don't know. What I love is Egon's been planning these trips with his cousin and they're big trip planners. And so I haven't really had to do anything, which is unlike
that's
normally I'm the one
You're the planner
and all the planning. And if you don't know, it's a lot of work to plan a trip. So I'm very grateful.
Well, and the pressure is very high.
John has always planned our trips
for the kids, and we would go on family trips, and it would be like something would go wrong, and you would just feel like, oh,
well, but
totally fucked.
No offense. Sometimes John would death march us through, like, we're gonna hit this many things, and it was a lot. Instead of just kind of letting the trip kind of,
But I did 2 weeks in Europe, and I tried to pack in a month.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we went to Scotland, England, and Ireland.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
but it's like if you go all the way over there, you feel like you need to do what's at least in that vicinity while you're there.
It's very tempting.
I loved it. Cameron did not like going to that many places. I thought it was great. It was a wonderful trip.
Oh,
I thought it was
so fun.
Yeah. But she was like, can we next time just go somewhere and stay longer instead of like, next,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a great trip. And we had gone to Ireland during the World Cup, and there was this one bar. We were like in this one area, and you could look into this like pavilion area, and where all these people just going crazy for the World Cup. And there we were with our kids going, not as much fun.
But I mean, just in general, being in Europe during the World Cup
is super
freaking awesome.
I know.
Because every day was like, all right, we're going to go watch, they have 3 matches every day. And you would be like,
it was
you're going to root for today.
Yeah.
It was super, super fun because we love having like a sporting event or something to kind of like as a focus, like of
like an event.
Sometimes even of the day, like, like, hey, we're going to, watch this, we'll get together and watch a game or something. And so that was, and we didn't plan it that way. It was,
we were actually, when the World Cup was playing, we were in Amsterdam.
Ooh, so fun.
So
people are
crazy, nuts in the streets, just it's like, I mean, it was all good and fun and everything, but it was kind of a lot of people.
Well, one time we went on a trip to different baseball stadiums. So we went to, tell me if I'm wrong, but we went to Philadelphia.
Yep.
We went to Boston. We went to New York, Yankees. And when we were in Philadelphia, the Pope was going to be coming in, not the Pope now, but this other Pope. and they had rerouted all the traffic, and the people in Philly were pissed. They were like, F the Pope, F the Pope.
Everybody was grumbling
about the
F
Pope.
the Pope.
F the
Like,
Pope.
Wow.
He's ruining our
literally
traffic.
shutting down, like kicking people out of their houses and stuff.
Yeah, like
Reason.
it was pretty.
It was the soap.
It was the Pope. I just thought it was so funny. They were so mad
To
at
hear
the
people
Pope.
say that like repeatedly was really funny.
We were like, wow, it's really hard to get over here. F the Pope. He's coming in. You know?
Everybody's got signs,
There's
t-shirts.
Catholics, you know, they're like, oh,
Whoa.
F him.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
So funny.
We were gonna play a little quick game with y'all.
All right.
Very end, because I wanted to do a little fun,
Okay.
get to know y'all a little bit deeper.
Awesome.
And so,
Let me just give you
A warning.
a warning.
probably.
John hates games. One time, we were the longest married couple, and we were playing one of those, like, how well do you know your spouse? And it was like, we were on a team together. Everybody was smoking us because John was intentionally, like,
I was
throwing the game.
because you didn't want to be doing it.
It would be like, what's
Being a
your,
baby.
what's your favorite type of jewelry? He would be like, a cock ring. And I was like, I'm sitting here like, a necklace. Da, da, da. I was like, John, I cannot with you. I was like, we should be
That one.
winning this.
Yeah,
We've been
I was trying to throw it. I was trying to throw the game.
He was
Like
throwing
that
the
way, they
game.
won't ever ask me.
We did lose.
Yeah, we lost because of you.
Because of you. All right, well, get on it.
So is this for all the money?
This is for
Yeah.
This is for the big bucks.
All right, good. All right.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
just
let's
for
see.
fun. It's not that serious.
Don't write cock ring on you.
John.
I
I
love,
love that answer.
That is so funny.
Okay.
Okay. What is the pettiest? Well, you don't even have to write this down. You could just say it. What is the pettiest argument you've
Oh,
ever
I know.
Now they can run it. Look at
The long
Matter it.
sigh. The pettiest argument you've ever had. What was it about?
Okay. I already know.
Okay.
Okay. So what did you say, Jody?
The banana argument.
Something about a banana.
Forget what it was.
Oh
So
my
something
God.
about-
I remember.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
So I had, when Peyton was a baby, I had cut up a banana and put it in front of her, and she started to choke on it.
Mhm.
And he was like, you didn't cut that banana into small enough
Did you
pieces.
try to kill her? Are you trying to kill her?
With the banana.
I got so mad. I was like, I'm leaving. Well, this was when John's parents, like, they had given us, like, when you're starting out married, you have like nothing.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, our coffee table was like a Corona ice chest, like a giant Corona ice chest. But they had given us this giant Lincoln that they, it
Hand me
was
down
huge.
car.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm leaving. And I drove out to his family's lake house in Lake Travis. I was like, I'll show him. How dare you tell me about the banana?
Oh,
That is so funny.
You remember that?
It's funny that y'all both
That's
remember that.
crazy. That's good.
All right.
Better than me.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay. Who is more dramatic when they're sick?
Oh.
Okay, they both agree. John is
both
more
agree.
dramatic.
Definitely. He cannot be sick at all.
It's like the
It's
worst.
just like a
that's
man
ever
thing, I
happened.
think.
It's the worst thing that ever
So,
happened.
Yeah.
Okay, who is the impulse buyer? Jody and Jody.
Well, he says I'm 1,000 tiny cuts is his.
Oh, I love that. I remember.
Like, I'm not going to go
Yes.
buy a Louis Vuitton, but I'm going to have 1,000 tiny cuts.
Yeah.
And it's all going to add up to about the same amount as a Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
What did you say?
I
Yeah.
remember when you said, hey, John
Yeah.
calls me 1,000 tiny cuts.
Yeah.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Yes.
good. I'm that way too.
That's funny. I've had patients like that before. It's just like they have so many things wrong, and I'm like,
Golly.
death by 1,000
It
cuts.
adds up
Yeah.
to something really
Golly.
bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of buying, what is the most ridiculous thing one of you has purchased?
Oh, okay.
She's so quick with these.
God, there seems like a lot.
There's so many.
Uh,
Ready?
mhm.
Okay.
She's still
The wood chopper.
bamboo.
Yeah, it's
Bamboo what?
Bamboo shredder.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
this. I bought this wood chopper,
Oh
and it didn't
You have
work.
a lot of bamboo.
And I kept trying to make it work, and
And he broke your ribs trying to get it out of
It was
something.
worst.
And then luckily somebody stole it.
Somebody stole it.
We were so happy. 'cause
No one's
it's a
ever
giant-
stolen anything from our house, knock on wood.
What a
But somebody
strange
came up into our
thing to
carport
steal.
and
Took that-
stole that bamboo shredder, and we were like,
Yes.
God.
But I would say our other thing that we bought that I'm like, oh, why did we buy that? We
The
bought it.
Porsche.
Oh, I liked that thing.
Yeah,
But the
it's
Porsche was
cute.
bad. Yeah, because it was like an old Porsche and it never
It's a
worked.
Jeff-
I remember driving it down like Lamar and it broke down. I had to push it like out of the road. But
It sucked.
it sucked. But I would say when we bought that elliptical and we didn't have a place for it. And ellipticals are huge.
Yeah.
And it was
Yes.
in our living room and it was like, this thing is ugly and it's in our living room. And our
Did
we have a
anybody use it?
1950s house. So we would, but we didn't use it to the degree. It just became an eyesore. I think we gave it to my brother.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. But I mean, it literally ended up being that,
Thing you hang
hang your,
clothes.
Yeah.
Your clothes.
Yeah.
put your laundry on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was such a
And
mess.
I don't know.
Hilarious.
Ellipticals, it would take up like a lot of this room. They're
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
They are. They're really big.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Who controls the thermostat?
He has it on his phone.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
she'll change it, and I'll just sneak right. Just so
He'll
it
just be like,
off, just when she starts to forget.
I feel like the
that she turned
apps are cheating now.
It'll-
Yeah, they're cheating, and I don't have it on my phone because I don't have room for it.
Oh.
No. 'Cause- and then I'm always cold, and he's never cold. So,
When I hear that thing running, I just hear dollars out the.
oh my gosh, him and
I-
Adrian.
I was just about to say you
Door.
sound just like your brother-in-law.
Yes, Adrian.
I
Yes.
just hear my money.
I go over to the Grabies and it's so hot in there. I'm like, I feel like I'm in the Bahamas.
No, I don't do
It's
that.
so hot. And then I
not like
go,
that.
hey,
They're
turn on
correct.
the air, and he's like, "What it costs money?" And I go, here's $20. Turn it on.
Yeah.
I'm not like that.
That's funny.
pay
But
for my
I am
hour
very
there,
conscious
yes.
of it. If it's anywhere near like too cold, I don't need it that cold. Anyway,
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
We
I
like
think
it.
that's every Aegon's that way too. He tries to be, but he's learned that it's a losing battle. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I kind of
That's
win
funny.
that one.
We like the temperature. We dubbed freeze your ass off
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But our house is
for
pretty cold all the
sleeping
time.
anyway. Okay, if your spouse was arrested, what would it be for?
Okay. Well, that's easy, but for him,
Yeah, like what would he be arrested for, and what would Jody be arrested for?
That's easy for him to answer for you.
yeah, mine's kind of easy.
He looks like he's thinking.
I honestly, I'm stumped.
Okay. Come on. That's an easy one. It would be drinking. for
Oh,
me.
some sort of public rowdiness. Yes, that's
At a
it.
sporting event.
That would be it.
Yeah,
Or like, yes, getting in
Yeah.
a fight with someone for no reason.
I
like
wouldn't
in
get in a fight.
Well,
Not a physical fight.
yeah,
Maybe a verbal fight.
yeah.
you never got in a fight in a bathroom.
John's would be like a protest. He would go and like protest something.
Oh,
And
God.
he'd be down at the Capitol, and then they'd come down.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Too old.
Anyway.
But if you were going to be arrested, it would be something like that.
Perhaps.
He's not a confrontational person.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the last one I have is, what is one piece of marriage advice you'd give your younger selves?
Oh. What
Take
advice
the
would
L.
you give
Take
yourself?
the L sometimes.
Take the L.
Sometimes you have to take the L.
Yeah. Mine
Pick
is
your
talk
battles.
about finances.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Good.
I had like, I think because growing up, there was always like, we were not financially well off. And so I would shy away from talking about money a lot. It would cause me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now when we have a weekly meeting about our finances, and I started with having like the fire on. I'd have like a hot cocoa. I have like my,
She likes PowerPoints. She likes to see
we like
reports.
we projected onto
Yeah.
the screen. I had like my therapy dog next to me and my therapy
a whole
blanket. And I'm like, okay, now I'm ready.
Well, just to on that, and that is a big deal because that can cause all of the problems, right? So, what we finally figured out not that long ago was that she would just take it as any kind of mentioning of it as a personal attack.
Yeah.
Like,
I do
like,
too.
Yeah,
you're,
I do too.
like you're doing something wrong, and it wasn't that. It was just like, no, I don't think you understand
Yeah.
this.
Right.
Are you sure you understand this?
Yeah.
And maybe you'll have a different view on it. And that's really all it.
Well, your dad was an accountant, right?
Yes,
A CPA,
was a
right?
Right.
And
Yes.
so
He counted every
yeah,
or every.
you had that in your DNA, even though you
Yes.
did not become an accountant. You had it in your
Right.
DNA still. So
Yeah, you know how those are.
yeah,
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
I do.
But like anything, like any criticism about spending money or the kids, even if he was like, the kids aren't cleaning up after this, I would take it like a personal attack.
Yeah.
Because I feel like those are
I'm sorry.
my kids.
Like, yeah,
you know?
I get that way too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So I get really
that way
defensive.
too, and I get to where I'm like saying like, "Oh, thanks for doing this thing," but then I'm like, "No, you're supposed to do that."
Right. They're your kids too. Right.
Like, thanks for being a parent.
It's like, would you mind babysitting your kid?
Yeah.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You're actually just parent them.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would get really defensive about the kids.
But I think that goes back to the reason why is that Dave really needs that. He needs that
Positive
reinforcement and that appreciation from you. And so by saying thanks for, you're really not thanking him, but you're really just kind of stroking him or, kind of giving him what he needs to feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But the finance thing we started recently because now that I'm not working, I have the headspace for it. I think when I was working full time, like everything had to kind of be on the back burner because of my job. Like it was so consuming working as a teacher. So, but also people have given us great advice on that. So Shelly's neighbor, Kate, they have like summit meetings, they call them. And then Shelly and Adrian have great talks about finances and, just learning from other people. Tammy and Brandon have started doing it as well. Because I was like, I don't want to talk about it, but now it's like, why did I wait so long why not? I mean, it's just kind of, take the Band-Aid off.
That's kind of the way I've been since Egon and I have been married, because prior to that, it was like I was responsible for it. So when I found somebody who would do it, I was glad to be, oh yeah, you go right ahead.
Right.
But as now you start thinking about, well, what if something happens to him?
Right.
I don't know squat. Somebody asked me the other day, what do you pay for your cell phones? I don't know.
I know.
So I'm trying to shift that and realize that I do need to learn about what this is and what
we'll do it together.
Okay.
We'll talk each other through.
I think it really should be. It'd be great. It's a good thing for all people,
is.
men and women, to know where
I
we
was
are.
gonna say I would be interested to see like what goes on in these like finance meetings. Like what's the setup? What's the agenda? Do you have notes?
Well, kind of. We set notes before, and then he'll project and then we'll kind of set a goal for that next month or that next week.
I think really just trying to figure out what the baseline is and like, what does it cost a month to live with before you start adding on extras, and then just like kind of manage to that number.
Yeah.
And all right, well, we're way over that number.
Well, this month has been like...
Because at some point, we're not going to be we're not going to be working,
Well, we have an investor that helps us with this.
So you don't...
But I know people that
do not
the
watch it.
Stock market is up.
I have this stock of the company that I own, like that I work for. I have their stock, and I know what that is.
That's kind of the one you mainly watch.
The only one. Everything else, I'm like, it's a very much like a long term.
Yeah,
it's not a right now thing. You just,
I think it's really important, and I'm kind of with you, Jody. I waited too long to when I was in my 20s or whatever. I didn't care less about any of that. And then after I married Egon, and it was really great. He did it all, and then now I'm thinking I should have been better about it, but I was busy doing other stuff.
Right.
Like you were working.
Yeah.
I was taking care of Jake, and it's too much going on. So, but yeah. So,
but those are things.
You guys know each other pretty well. You obviously should.
You're a cat. What a talker.
Hi, welcome to the party.
Hi, Mommy.
What a cutie.
Yeah. So, y'all basically tied. You tied on your answers. Y'all pretty much know each other pretty well.
You win. You both win.
We won
$1.
Okay, good.
all right.
Well, I have really, really enjoyed chatting with you guys. I learned some new things about y'all that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it's been fun.
Yes, this is a blast.
Yeah, it's great.
Spending a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for letting us do this. I love your studio.
Yeah, this is cool.
This is really
Very cool.
nice.
This gets you in the right mindset,
Right.
you know, because
Well, and John, their sound is
the atmosphere.
amazing.
I'm real big on sound.
Yeah.
Sound quality of a podcast.
That's good.
Any
We don't
sort
really
of
know what we're doing.
conversational recording. It's like, man, you got to get that sound right. So yeah, that's cool.
That's true for sure. Yeah. So I really don't have any more.
Well, this has been a blast.
Yeah,
Thanks for
this has been a
inviting
lot of fun.
us.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Much. And I'm looking forward to hearing about all the adventures in the future, the camp out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the,
Well, maybe when y'all get your RV, y'all join.
Come along.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. And we are over and out.
Over and out.